Oh, there's the mayor.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you.
Hi, Mayor Daniella. Thank you for joining us today and giving us your time.
What could be better on Earth Day than to be with young people who care about the planet? Nothing.
Awesome. So, all right, everyone, the mayor only has 20 minutes. And so she's going to give a very brief remarks about Earth Week. And then she's going to have a little space at the end to answer a couple questions from the students, okay? And so I just wanted to give a very brief bio for the mayor. So the mayor, Daniella Levine Cava, was elected Miami-Dade County's first ever woman mayor in November 2020. And she has nearly 40 years experience serving South Florida in nonprofit work, public service, and elected leadership. Throughout her career, Mayor Levine Cava has always been an advocate for helping low and middle income families become more self-sufficient and civically engaged. And she's been a champion of protecting the environment. One of her achievements in the first 100 days in office has been to partner with the state of Florida to fund projects to protect and restore Biscayne Bay and release the first ever Biscayne Bay report card. So now I'm going to turn it over to the mayor to give her opening remarks, and then we'll have questions at the end.
Well, thank you so very much, Linda, for inviting me. And thank you, students, for participating in the Earth Week Challenge. You know that Earth Week started, actually Earth Day started in April 1970. That's a very long time ago. And I was in high school at the time. And I participated in the first ever Earth Day. So I feel very, very excited and proud to be with you here 51 years later. That's how long I've been celebrating Earth Day. So congratulations to all of you, and kudos to your teachers who are leading in the classrooms to bring you this important information and fun activities as well. Very, very important to make it fun. That's the best way to learn. And Linda, I want to especially congratulate you because your nonprofit, Before It's Too Late, is really having such an impact. It's exactly how we need to reach out to those who are inheriting the planet. So look at all that you have achieved. 4 years ago, your first ever Earth Week had 200 participants in the activities, and now across Florida, you have the outstanding participation from more than 13,000 students, 200 teachers, 95 Florida schools, and 800 individuals. That is super impressive. You have truly created a movement of stewardship for this planet. So like you, Linda, I created a nonprofit right out of graduate school. I helped our young people and adults in Miami-Dade County become more involved in their community. And to this day, Catalyst Miami, which it's now called, originally it was the Human Services Coalition, helps people learn how to get engaged in local government, and particularly around issues of the environment. So Catalyst coaches people in how to write letters to their elected officials, how to speak up at public meetings. And so I'm truly honored to join you today to discuss ways for everyone to rev up for Civic Friday, which is tomorrow. So I know you have some great activities planned for tomorrow. So before we go on any further, let me just stop again and say Happy Earth Day. It truly is a great, great day to celebrate. We're doing our part, but we need to do more to protect our planet. So Earth Day has become the largest civic engagement event in the entire world. So this is not just a Miami-Dade event, Florida, or US event. This is a global international event. And it always is so important to raise awareness around the world. We're all integrated. We share the same water, the same oceans, the same air. We live together in this planet, and we need to work together to deal with the challenges of climate change and advocate for social justice as we confront these environmental challenges. And it starts with becoming aware of our beautiful Mother Earth. So that is what you're doing, and learning your responsibility for taking care of our planet. This week started with Meatless Monday, I'm happy to report I did have a Meatless Monday. There were yummy recipes of vegan foods, including the traditional Cuban-American pulled pork, but it was made with tempeh and tempeh tacos. So there's lots of ways to adapt our favorite traditional foods with meatless products. And I think you all know why meat is so absorbs so many of the resources of our planet. Cows, for example, produce a huge amount of carbon. So that is not good for our environment. So we need to really think about this, not just from a health, our personal health, but from a global health perspective. We have our very own Miami approach to these things. And we had our vegan competitive bodybuilder, Nimai Manrique, and his personal trainer, Wendy Diaz, featured on Meatless Monday. And there was, today is Trashy Thursday. I don't know if you all are aware of that. It happens to be recycling day at my household, but Trashy Thursday. And I hope that you will find great ways to cut waste and plastic pollution today. This is so important for our health and the health of our planet and our oceans. I'm sure you've been involved in cleanups and you know the extraordinary amount of plastic that is in our oceans and harming our wildlife and our environment. But tomorrow, the big day is Civic Friday. And that is a special challenge where it's important for you to do your part to speak up, to create that more sustainable climate. We can't do it alone. This is something we must do together. We can each take individual actions to go meatless or put out our trash, but civically, we are more powerful when we are together. And so we need to work together. And we need governments to pass laws for large scale change. President Biden is holding his climate change summit with 40 countries participating to reset the button on our global commitment to climate change. So that is a great, great example of working together for civic change. And you, as young advocates, are incredibly important in this process, because when young people step up to speak, you know what? We adults listen, because we're so impressed that you have the knowledge, you have the expertise, and you have the will to change things. So when you speak up, we can do so much. And in 2019, there was the largest ever global climate strike that was led by millions of young people around the world. So there's many ways for you to take action. You can get more educated, as you're doing. That's the first. Knowledge is power. You've got to know about the issues and the solutions. And then you can become more vocal. You can teach your friends and family what you've learned. So don't keep it to yourself. Spread the good news. And you can get involved in your school's green team. I know this is something that all schools and young people are involved in these days, so you can become an active member. You could volunteer with a nonprofit that is part of the climate change and environmental movement. We have many here in Miami-Dade County and elsewhere, and you could become a leader. You could learn leadership, hone your leadership skills in such an organization. And when you turn 18, what do you get to do?
You get to vote.
You get to vote. That's right. Vote. I have never missed an election since I was 18. And I remember so well my first election. It was on a really ancient machine.
Have you ever become a president?
Well, I never planned to get into elected office. So I ran for the first time 7 years ago to be county commissioner, and then this past couple of years to be mayor. But I thought I could be most effective outside as an advocate. And I spent many, many years advocating for government to do what it needed to do. And then it was time for me to step inside and do what I could from inside government too. So I'm not planning to be president. I don't think that day will come for me, but I know there will be a woman president very soon. So I would say to all of you right now, today, write a letter to an elected official and urge their greater involvement in environmental action. There was a video on Civic Friday, and my good friend, South Miami former Mayor Philip Stoddard, shows you why your voice is so important in that video. He was really our tireless, most vocal environmental activist elected for the past many years. He's been tireless and effective. And I have created an engagement platform for all of Miami-Dade County called thrive305.org. And I want to invite all of you to go there, check it out, see what people are saying. We have a high level of knowledge and awareness of environmental and climate issues in Miami-Dade County because we are so very, very affected. And we know that you also are part of that. Thank you, Linda, for putting that in the chat. So in closing, I want to wish all of you success for the rest of Earth Week's challenges. And remember that this week you must take out into the year. This is a week to bring awareness, but it's not the only week. We know that all year round, we have to practice these good environmental stewardship actions, and we have to share the news, and we have to be advocates all year long. I'm going to mention to you my daily, weekly, and monthly dose. Daily, learn about the issues, learn the news, what is happening in our world, in our community, from a reliable, trusted source, not fake news, ladies and gentlemen, real news. Weekly, get out into the community, do an action like cleaning up in a park, or if you like volunteering to work with children or seniors, whatever, animals, whatever is of interest to you. Weekly, get out to learn your community, and monthly, speak up, make your voices heard, because you are truly the civic activists of our future, and we need you to start now and keep on going. And that is how we will make real change. So happy Earth Day, everybody. I know you're going to have an amazing day, and you will all be great, great stewards for a better planet.
Hey, thank you, Mayor. So now I'm going to let people, can you use the chat to think about a question? So form a question in your head for the mayor and write it succinctly in the chat. And I'm going to read some of your questions that we have time for. And I'm going to start with the first question, Mayor. So, you know, tomorrow's challenge for Civic Friday is to write a letter to an elected official. And you mentioned this. Do you have any tips on how students go about writing a good letter, something that will be read, and how do they make sure that they are being heard by the leaders that they're writing to or reaching out to?
Well, my experience is that elected officials love to hear from young people. It is something that really gets us past some of the day-to-day conflicts or controversies. Whenever there's a young person, we know that their intentions are sincere. We know that they're not coming in influenced by somebody who wants to get something out of the county for their personal gain. And people really love it when young people step up. So I would say, first of all, identify yourselves as a young person and why you are interested. By the way, I have a formula for how to have winning communications with elected officials. So I'll go over that briefly. It's called EPIC, E-P-I-C. The E stands for engage, something that gets their attention right away. And this can be done very quickly. It could be done in 30 seconds, the whole formula of EPIC. So engage. It might be, you know, my name is Susie and I'm 10 years old and I am concerned about my future. That's pretty good. People will pay attention. Okay, then propose. What is it you exactly want? I want Miami-Dade County to be the leader in climate change and to reduce our carbon by 50% in the next 10 years and to zero by 2050 or whatever it is that you're going to promote. That's your proposal. Really around the bush, exactly what you want. He propose. I is to illustrate. That's when you give a little more background or information about it. You could say, did you know that if the earth heats up more than 1.5 degrees, that life in South Florida will become impossible. And it's on us to reduce our carbon. That's the only way we can make sure that that we can keep the seas from rising more and the climate from taking over, for example. So there's a little more information, and then conclude. Thank you for your time, and I will, can you commit to taking the steps necessary to reduce our carbon so we can stay within so that our temperature does not increase. So there's an example. Epic, use that. You will get attention, and you will get even more attention if you do it as a group.
Okay. So we have a lot of questions. Thank you, Mayor. A lot of questions coming through. One question is about global warming and sea level rise. What plans are in place to stop the flooding caused by sea level rise? And do you think global warming is beginning to decrease or increase? Do you think it can end before it ruins the life cycle?
Well, Miami-Dade County put out a sea level rise strategy about a month ago, and all the things that we need to do, and that's called adaptation, the things that we do to deal with rising seas, the fact that seas are rising, and that is a reality. So that is important to know how we'll adapt. But we're coming out today, a little later today, with our climate change strategy, and that is how we will mitigate, how we will reduce our carbon footprint. And I saw in the chat people asking about electric cars and our buses, electrified. We're moving aggressively in those areas. Also, we're moving to solar energy. I'm pushing hard for that. So all of that is critical. And our buildings also, it's not just our vehicles, our buildings produce a lot of carbon. So we have a program called Building Efficiency 305. We work with buildings to help them do an audit of their energy usage and help them. They can really reduce their carbon output. So there's many, many things that we can do. I know that the Earth is going to continue to warm up, and it's on us to make sure it does not go beyond that 1.5 degree. That is really the critical point. And it's still within our power, but only if we act aggressively and quickly.
Okay, so and you mentioned electric vehicles, but are there plans to invest in major electric vehicle infrastructure?
Yes, we have invested. We are converting our county bus fleet to electric, our other car fleet, and we're putting in electric charging infrastructure in lots of places to support it. There's incentives to go electric. So we're definitely pushing forward with that, and that is part of our climate change plan that we'll be releasing today. If I could, I see a bunch of people asking about running for mayor, which I love.
Go ahead.
And how do you run for mayor? Well, you have to be a U.S. citizen, and you have to have lived in your district for 6 months prior to the qualifying period, and you must be an eligible voter. So basically, you have to be an eligible voter. So there aren't that many requirements, but actually, how do you get to be? Well, you have to work hard. You have to have a lot of people get to know you and have trust that you will do a good job, and you have to raise money to get the word out about who you are, and that's how you get elected to be mayor. And may some of you run for office as representatives, locally, state, federally, and maybe one of you on this call will be president one day.
Yes. Maybe one final question is, why did you run for mayor?
That is me.
Thank you.
Rock Molina.
Well, yeah. Look, these challenges are really huge. Of course, right now we're dealing with COVID, getting our health back in order, our economy, but how we deal with this existential threat of the future climate is just the top issue for our day. How do we protect our water? How do we protect our homes? How do we make sure that people can continue to afford to live here, that they can get around town, that they're safe? These are the issues that motivate me each and every day. And I decided that I had the background, I had the knowledge, I had the commitment to get it done. And I therefore had the responsibility to step up and do my part. I think each of us has a responsibility to do what it is that we can do and to stretch and strive for new challenges. So that's what I did.
Thank you, Mayor. So it's at the 10:21, and I think you have to go head out to another meeting or something. So can everyone give the mayor a big round of applause and thank her for her time?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm on my way to a beach cleanup in honor of Earth Day, as well to release our climate change strategy. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Linda. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Daniela.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I saw, I hope that was a good experience for all of you to be able to have that, actual one-on-one time. Well, it wasn't one-on-one, but that type of exposure to the mayor in a private Zoom meeting. That's pretty awesome. And I saw you guys had a lot of tough questions for the mayor, around the world, like racism and vaccine. And honestly, these are the tough questions that if you are in a position of leadership, you do not have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers, but it's your job to try to talk to all the experts and make the best decision, what you believe to be the best decision for the public. So thank you for joining today, and good luck. And remember to write your letters tomorrow or today. It's really important. It's the only way for us to get from individual, like what you can do as an individual, to trying to make a bigger difference, trying to change the system, having larger scale action. Thank you, Brenda. Well, I can stay on for a little bit if anyone has any questions beyond what the mayor can answer, maybe about Earth Week.
Well, I know that we're supposed to, that if we write a letter, what can we say on it?
Okay, so you've been learning a lot of different topics this week. And so what I would do if I were you is think about which one of those environmental topics resonates the most, like matters the most to you. Like which one do you care the most about? Do you maybe care about animals, protecting animals? Do you care about our water? Whatever it is, think about the one thing that makes you the most passionate or you're most concerned about. And then think about which person you want to talk to. Is it local level, like, or your county level, your state level, or federal level? Of course, the higher up you go, the less likely, you're going to be among more voices, but you're also reaching out to somebody that might have, like, if you write a really good letter, you never know, like they could read that.
And we give it to who? Like, do we just give it to our teachers and then she'll just give it to that person?
So there's either your teacher is going to facilitate the process in which she will actually have you guys do it in class and then collect the letters and help mail it, or you may have to do it yourself. So ask your teacher, because the teacher has all the resources for how to go about this, if she wants to do it as a class, or if she can help you in any way, or she can at least guide you in how you can do it yourself. So we do have a guide, and she can point you to where that guide is. But also you can go online to earthweekchallenge.org and go to Civic Friday on the 7-day guide. And we have a little guide on how to write your letter, how to find who your elected leaders are, their mailing address, and then think about like how to write that letter. So as long as it's a very personal letter and you're being respectful and you're also taking the time to maybe talk about the issue very articulately, and then send it. Does that help, Sophia?
Yeah. I think I'll just like ask the rest of the questions to like my teacher, Miss Flores.
Okay, yeah, Miss Flores will definitely help you. She will know what to do. So let me anyways send you a link to that guide I was telling you about, to find it. All right, so here's the guide. Oops, well, look, Miss Brenda Krebs, she's from the mayor's team. She wrote, first, find out who your representatives are. This is easy to do online. You can ask your teachers to help. On Miami-Dade County's website, all you have to do is type your address and then your commissioner's name and district number will pop up. When writing a letter or talking with your elected officials, make it personal. Tell them exactly how the issue you are concerned about affects your life and your community. Remind your representatives that there should be nothing about me without me. That means no one should dictate what happens in your community without your input. And keep it brief. If you write a letter and want to turn your ideas into comments at local government meetings, you will often only have 2 minutes to talk. So always state who you are, where you live, and why what you are advocating for is important to you, your neighbors, all voters in your community, and everyone who pays taxes. So that last one is about, if you go beyond writing the letter, if you want to show up at a meeting, a commissioner meeting, every city has that, like, I think usually is it once a month or once a week?
In Miami-Dade County, it's more often than once a month. There
Yeah,
are a lot of subcommittees, so the commissioners are meeting all the time. And so you can find out like your city or your county, how often they're meeting, and it's posted online, and they love to hear from you.
yeah. It's called a commissioner meeting, right? They should Google, whatever your city is or county is that you're trying to show up at and talk to, and the commissioner meeting time and where to show up. It's a public meeting, so you're allowed to go up, and there's always time for public comments. Although you do have to keep your public comments brief. That means you have to really think about your message. Like, how do you communicate it? Tell people what the issue is, why it matters to people in the community, and what you want your leader to help you do specifically about it. Yeah. Are there any other questions?
No, not that I know. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if there are no more questions, I'm going to end this meeting, and I want everyone to have a nice day and enjoy the rest of Earth Week Challenge. Really challenge you to think about civic action and take action on it, and have a nice Earth Day as well.
Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Linda. It was fabulous. Your
Thank you,
videos
Brenda.
are great. Enjoy, everyone. Thank you for participating.
Period. Thanks, Brenda.
Bye.